I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're taking a look at a beautiful book. It is called Art and Soul, and it's written and created by a wonderful author. And there's the book right there. She's got it in her hands, Roxsane Tiernan. This captivating book encourages us to embrace our creative potential and make the world a better place through art. Today, we're going to explore her incredible journey across 30 countries and her mastery of a Japanese paper collage technique. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Roxsane, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much. It's good to be.
It's great to have you on the show. Tell us a little bit about what inspired your journey into the world of shigiri and other artistic techniques.
Shigiri is one of the things that I guess I was running away from my first husband, and I went to Japan. It was just we were not getting along very well, so I went to Japan and I stayed with a friend, and she sent me to a housewife's course on how to use shigiri, on how to make pieces work. And they gave you all the bits and pieces you needed because it's a collage technique. And I had all the pieces I needed, and they said, okay, put this together. This will be a twig with a dogwood blossom on it. And that was easy. I did it in 20 minutes. They thought it was going to take 2 hours. So I just wanted to buy the paper and leave, and they wouldn't sell me the paper. They wanted me to come back the next time and do grapes. No. Took me
That's
about
funny. So
6
you
weeks.
were a natural. You took to it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Tell the folks at home a little bit about your book, Art and Soul. What will they find within the pages?
Art and Soul has a piece of my art on one page, and facing it has a poem that I wrote. And I wrote most of the poems when I went to Mexico I was 45 years old. I went to become the program director at the Cabana, which is a World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, one of our world centers. So you get an influx of people every so many days, and you run a program that's appropriate. And usually you get about 6 different countries at the same time, so that everybody has a long way to go and lots of connections to make. And I went on the way there, I decided that the thing I needed most was to learn to express my emotions. From a little child, I'd been taught that soldiers don't cry. That started at the beginning of the Second World War. Every time I'd scratch something, I was told soldiers don't cry. So I learned to bottle up my emotions, and that's not generally good. So I decided to learn to laugh and to cry in the 2 years I was there, and I pretty well succeeded.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, your travels have really had an impact on you. Your travels to Mexico and beyond, 30 countries, as I mentioned earlier in the program. Has it influenced your artistic style and your philosophy?
Mostly my philosophy. I think somebody asked on some survey I took recently, if you had to pick 2 countries that you'd like to live in, and that be on top of where you already live. And I picked Japan and Finland, because both of them have very, very calm, very people conscious backgrounds. The way they live is impressive.
Yeah, I just actually returned from a trip to Japan, and the gentility of the people there, the orderliness of society, from every manicured lawn to every manicured bush, it's amazing. Everything seems to be a piece of art in progress, right?
Yeah, everything's well done. If you lose something in Japan, you drop it. They pick it up and hang it on the nearest tree or fence post, and you've got a chance of taking it back. You don't
Exactly.
have to worry about your camera getting stolen. If you leave it behind in a taxi, they'll track you down.
Amazing. Yeah, it is amazing society and an amazing people for sure. Is there a most memorable moment from your travel in all those different countries over the years?
Hmm. Well, mostly it's been with Girl Guides or Girl Scouts in the States.
Hmm.
And a most memorable moment would probably be the last time I visited Japan. And with my minimal Japanese, I said to my support over there, my best friend Motoko, and I called her my devil instead of my older sister.
Hmm.
And fortunately, the other six people that were there, when they realized what I'd done, we could all laugh. And I was kind of like, holy cow, you know.
That's funny. That really is a funny story. And the little subtle inflection makes a big difference in every word you pronounce in Asian languages for sure.
Oni or one, yeah, that's all I had to do.
One, she's a sister, one, she's a devil. Okay, I'll be careful of that. I'll tread lightly if I try to try my hand at speaking the Japanese language, which I think I'll forego because I'm not
Oh,
very good beyond Kanishiwa. What do you
yeah.
hope readers take away from your book, Art and Soul?
I want them to sort of have an idea that the world's all together and needs to work together. And they need to treat each other with respect, and they need to believe in themselves.
Hmm.
If I didn't believe in myself, I'd have been dead before I was 17
Yeah, yeah,
because I had a rough time from
yeah.
10 to 17. But basically, I find there's good in everybody, and you find it when you're not expecting it. And we can all work together and make the world a better place.
Absolutely. Show everybody a little bit of kindness, a little bit of love, a little bit of understanding, compassionate, and concern. I think that would definitely make the world a better place for sure. Do you have a favorite poem within your book?
Oh, well, I asked my husband to pick one out, and he picked out this one, and it fits right in with what we said. This is called The Brotherhood of a Man. You can only live your own life, so live it very well. You don't know whose life you'll influence. You really cannot tell. You can only do your own job. It's really up to you. Much as you think you understand, you can't walk in another's shoes. So try to be accepting, take joy in what people are. Try positive reinforcement to brighten another's star. Try to see the whole picture, the grand eternal plan. Remember to add your sparkle to the brotherhood of man.
Beautiful, beautiful. That should be emblazoned on every door that every person walks through every day as a reminder to be a good, kind soul. That's a beautiful, beautiful sentiment and a beautiful work for sure. How often do you work on your art? Do you mostly still work with Shigiri E, or do you do other types of artwork as well?
I do a mixed bag, so I often use acrylic
Hmm.
and rarely watercolor, mostly acrylic and Shigiri. And I work on it off and on, but fairly steadily. So I may not get there in this 10 days, but in the next 10 days, I may put in 3 days. So right now, I'm a member of the Federation of Canadian Artists, which you have to qualify. They jury you in or out, and they juried me in 2000. So
Mm.
that's a ways back. So I've been in a lot of juried shows, which means if they get 250 entries, they usually only take 50. So you have to have decent work. So
Well,
that I've been
looking
in
at your
about.
book, obviously your work is outstanding, so I can see why certainly you have been accepted by that esteemed organization. Are you working on any other books? Are you thinking about putting together any other books?
Well, can you see this one?
Yep, Art and Soul too.
This is just out.
Okay, awesome. So there's a
Yeah.
sequel.
So this is, yes, a sequel, and it has poetry in here and paintings as before. And this one is a different poem. It says, before he was a grandfather, he was retired, no longer a log trader. Before he met Roxanne, he played slow pitch with a much younger crowd. Before he quit playing golf, he walked with ease, hiked the forests. Before he took a Mediterranean cruise, he traveled Ireland by bus and drove us around the indigenous Southwest. Before he settled in with Roxanne, he played bridge with the ladies. Before he left Al-Anon, he learned a broader acceptance and understanding. Before his children married, he hoped for grandchildren and became an adopted grandfather. Before his grandchildren arrived, walking became a challenge. Playing hide and seek was difficult. Life is not fair.
It's a beautiful poem, very heartfelt. No doubt it is a tribute to your wonderful husband and life partner. And it's wonderful that your two lives have complemented each other so well. It's such a beautiful integration. I saw you two chatting before the start of the interview, and I can see and feel the love. And certainly that poem is a beautiful, beautiful tribute. He must be very, very proud indeed.
Oh, he's a wonderful guy. And if my life was tough in those 10 years, his life was tough from when he was 4. He got TB of the bone when he was 4, and they fused his right hip. So he's had mobility issues for off and on for most of his life.
Amazing, amazing. Well, it doesn't seem like it held him back any, despite the physical challenges. And I'm glad you two have such a beautiful life there together and such a wonderful love that you share. And I'm so happy that you shared this book with me today and with our viewing public as well. 2 books, actually. The first is called Art and Soul by Roxsane Tiernan. She is both the poet of the book and the artist of the book. And she has another creation as well. It is called Art and Soul 2. It's basically a sequel. It has more poems, more of this unique Japanese art form, artwork you'll find within the pages as well. It is delightful. It is inspiring. It'll help you get in touch with your own heart, your own mind, your own soul, and your own creative spirit.
And
Roxanne,
there's no copies. Each book has its own setup. There's no duplication.
wonderful, wonderful. Each one is unique.
Yeah.
That is terrific. Roxanne, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
And thank you for having me. And I like the background you have behind you and your lights coming up and here there, but nothing beats your smile.
Well, I appreciate that. And I love your smile as well. And I appreciate your time today. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.